play, can you see?
Connor has the puck. And a great shot. One for second. And that's the score. There it is on the park. It's the first score of the game. It's Burley hit the three. Leo scores. Great shot.
Score! Chelsea Vernon slides the back of the net from the face-off circle, and with 1:14 to go, the Raiders take a 3-2 lead.
And welcome back to an all-new Black Red Blitz. As always, I'm your host, Rebecca Karen. We're switching things up just a little bit as this will be a double episode, which means there's just a ton more Raiders highlights to catch up on. But first, we'll be checking in with girls lacrosse as they would be carrying a 5-game winning streak and be ready to face off for some more Bay State Conference competition. Hosting the Dedham Marauders here on Thursday for some unknown reason, we find ourselves back here at Sprague Field for the action. Yes, Sprague, and no, I didn't miss filming there in case you were wondering. And so with Grace Ahonen scoring 31 seconds in, well, that would be the first hint that we've got a soon-to-be blowout in store for us. Raiders would strike fast and strike often, with Gail Bennett burying the finish here on a solid breakaway. And off this free position, Maddie Balter goes with the up and under fake and finds the cage for a quick 3-1 edge. That would help kickstart a great opening half for the sophomore, as Balter already scores a hattie here on another beauty of a score, less than 9 minutes into this first. Ensuing face-off, Nicole Beckett controls the draw, making it easy for Maddie Balter to scoop up the ground ball. Balter then sends it to Caitlin Tchaikovsky on the run. Tchaikovsky finds Brooke Baker ahead, and Baker buries the finish, highlighting this 5-0 run by Wellesley. Just a ton of solid offense shown here as Nicole Beckett dishes out the assist and Brooke Baker goes back-to-back, not giving up on this try and making it count. Wellesley's lead is now 7-1. Passing on the breakaway here is fantastic. As Dedham finds out the hard way, this Raider team is so hard to defend. As May Sheehan gets the goal here, Marauders have seen enough and call a timeout. Dedham would then get a rare shot of being in their own offensive zone, and Nicole Manning makes the opportunity count on this free position score. But that barely cuts in to an 8-2 deficit. By continuing to dominate the midfield, captains Caitlin Tchaikovsky and Grace Ahonen would have no problem answering right back, ending 2 scores in a row and pushing it to a 10-2 advantage. Yet another dominating opening 25 minutes here by Wellesley. And behind 5 Maddie Balter goals, Raiders take a commanding 15-2 lead into the half. Go ahead and switch up the field, but the Raiders still find a way to win, and win big. Back for one time only at Sprague Field, this one easily goes down as a final, and improving to 11-3, it's all Raiders in this one. Wellesley 16, Dedham 3. So thankfully back at the stadium, but staying here with girls lacrosse, the Raiders would face a huge challenge on Saturday, going up against a Cohasset squad who so far this season have gone down in defeat only once in their first 11 games. With the Skippers already beating Norwell, a consistently tough team who dominates the South Shore, well, the Raiders would not have an easy task on their hands, that's for sure. Opening first would be tight here as sophomore Jane Hansen gets things done early for the Skippers. Quick passing inside by Caitlin Tchaikovsky and Maddie Balter results in Grace Ahonen burying this turnaround score to tie it 1-1. Free shot try, Maddie Balter makes it count, and that is back-to-back scores by Wellesley that for now gives them a 2-1 edge. Cohasset, not thrilled at all, call a timeout. Fast forward a few minutes later though, tied again at 2-2, Skippers connect on the breakaway when Jane Hansen centers it in stride to Julia Placek. Placek buries the finish, 3-2 Cohasset, back on top. And Jane Hansen then finds her sister Elle, and Elle Hansen cranks it in the cage. And that shot right there is hard for anyone to defend. So seeing 3 scores go unanswered, now it's Wellesley's turn to take a timeout. But after coming out of that break and seeing Cohasset net another goal by way of the Hansen sisters, Wellesley says enough, and taking action, back that up with results. Back-to-back free position goals by Grace Ahonen are clutch, cutting the deficit to 5-4. And despite seeing skippers answer right back, finding net again, push it back to a 6-4 advantage. Just before halftime, Raiders get a key score here by Brooke Baker. And this opening half was a battle by both teams as we head to the final 25 minutes of the game. Early minutes to the second half open up, and Grace Ahonen, patient with possession, finds the cutter. May Sheehan with a precise feed inside, and Sheehan buries it past Jane Cavanero to tie this one up. But skippers would break that tie just as quickly, thanks once again to the Hansen sisters. Jane here going back-to-back for key scores, and on this fast break, Elle Hansen burying the finish to another Cohasset breakaway. And suddenly it's 9-6 skippers. Now down 10-6, closing in on the midway mark to this final half, Raiders need an answer. A better time than now. Bridget Noonan steps up, feeds it to Maddie Balter. And Balter's quick stick score edges Raiders that much closer. Grace Ahonen again with this key free position goal, and that makes it 10-8 Cohasset. Plenty of time left. There's still game here as Raiders keep working hard to stick around. But when all was said and done, the offensive dominance of Jane and Elle Hansen were just too much to stop. In the end, it's Cohasset who would prevail here. And so skippers take this one 12-8. Back-to-back tough losses would go to Wellesley as they would then lose on the road to their rivals Needham. The Raiders would finish up the regular season strong as they beat Natick and Hingham on the road. So with a solid 13-5 record, let's wait and see what hard work brings in the MIAA seedings. Well, it's definitely been a struggle for most of the season for softball to find some consistency, trying to battle out wins against a tough division and an even tougher schedule that just continues to be relentless. And while Saturday would bring another test in a solid Medway Mustang squad, the Raiders would make time pregame to join in the fun of senior day. With the tradition of graduating seniors running the bases through for one last time, it would be an outstanding group for sure. 4 would make that run, starting first with seniors Emma Goldenthal and Kaylee Mitchell. And alongside pitcher and captain Julia Pearl and catcher and captain Linny Young, a lot of fun memories and clutch plays would surround these athletes. Checking in on the action though, Wellesley would already be down a 3 spot after the first inning. A tough second inning begins, runner on second, the pitcher and freshman Catherine Higgins, just seeing her home run try fall just foul, still knocks in the run with this blast and collects the RBI triple and a 4-run advantage. Elisa Cook quickly bloops it into left, bringing Higgins home, and that pushes the lead to 5-0 Mustangs. Still stuck in this second, now 6-0 Medway. Sarah Farnsworth now on the mound. Mackenzie Quigley rips the first pitch she sees from Farnsworth and drives in another Mustang. And so by the time Elisa Cook grounds out to Farnsworth to put an end to this breakout second, the Raiders are down, and down big. So, losing by 11 runs, how do you respond as a team? Well, Raiders definitely keep their heads up and get a walk and a solid single by Kaylee Mitchell to open up the bottom of this second. It's 2 on, nobody out. Now with both runners in scoring position, Catherine Higgins, though, pitching clutch from Medway, gets a pop-up, strikeout, and Julia Pearl flies out to shallow left. Melissa Faulkner gets under it, bringing in the catch, and any potential spark Raiders may have had going for them is quickly put out. Mustangs would add 2 more runs here in the third, as they have scored in each of these first 3 innings. Well, Raiders would stop that Mustangs run scoring streak in the fourth. Well, this 13-run deficit is something no team, no matter the record, can back from. So in 5 innings, this one goes down as a final here. Medway 13, Wellesley nothing. Well, under coach Rocky Batty, boys lacrosse has earned a postseason berth for the last 15 seasons in a row. Now that is fantastic, but it hasn't come easy by any means. So this late in the season, even behind a reliable and consistent offense, Wellesley still would be faced with one of their toughest challenges. As their rivals Needham, on a 10-game winning streak, would come in here and remind the Raiders there's still important games yet to be played for it's tourney time. Opening quarter would be tight as both the Raiders and Rockets look to hold each other's offense in check. Needham is the first to strike though as Brendan Walsh dishes and finds Danny McAvoy for the score. And back-to-back assists go to Brendan Walsh again as this time Walsh finds captain Sam Eisenstadt and Rockets jump out to a 2-0 lead 5 minutes into the first. And that sparks a Raiders timeout. Patience would be key here out of that break though as Wellesley keeps the ball on the move. Hugh Callahan in the X makes his move fighting, and I mean fighting hard to find the cage. Does. Hard work pays off as Callahan gets Wellesley on the board here, down 2-1. Raiders man-up advantage works to perfection as Michael Bones swings it out to Grant Kasikas, and Kasikas cranks it into the cage, tying it back up 2-2. Wellesley opens up this second down by a score, but look to quickly change that. And freshman Will Manning wastes no time and buries it sidearm. We're locked in a tie again, this time 3-3. But back-to-back scores here by Antonio Trabuco would give Rockets back the advantage, with a 5-3 lead and looking to have that momentum stay Needham's way. So, deeper into the second quarter, Wellesley is staring down a 6-3 deficit. Knowing a score right here can keep them in the game. James Mastriani takes the feed, fights off a big hit, and still buries it. Raiders needed that one for sure, down 6-4. Still carrying a 7-4 advantage into halftime though, Rockets waste no time in adding more. As seconds barely tick away to this third, Jason Child nets his second of the game. And Needham then turns second chances into scores. As Sam Eisenstadt scoops up the errant throw and goes high-low, and nets another. 9-4 Rockets. Jason Child buries the Hattie on this score that makes it 10-4, but also makes this Raider deficit that much more to erase. And you can't argue this third quarter completely changed the tempo of this once tight game. Playing against their rivals, you look back on this decisive third quarter and think, that's 12 minutes you'd probably like back. But there is still one more quarter to go. So Raiders, still fighting, open up the fourth. Hugh Callahan relentless on the attack, 5-holes it past Austin Shaver. But that would be only the 5th goal allowed by Shaver in this match. And as of right now, it's a commanding 14-5 Rockets lead. So in the end, Needham's offense would be too tough to stop. And Wellesley would not be able to end Needham's winning streak either. Well on their way to their 11th victory in a row, Rockets pulled away here for good in the third and take this one 14-5. So we fast forward 2 days later, staying with boys Lax at Darcy Field. Keeping it in the Bay State Conference here as the Raiders' next opponent will be the Natick Redhawks. And Summer, well at least for one day, decides to show up. 90 degrees, playing on a turf field, countless hydrating breaks, and stuck with wearing helmets and equipment to make it that much hotter. Let this game begin, sponsored by Gatorade. Raiders kickstart what would be an extremely high-scoring battle between these two divisional rivals, with Hugh Callahan putting the finishing touches to this outstanding breakaway. But Redhawks answer right back, as Chris Burns is just camping out in the crease here and makes it count. And taking advantage of this Raider turnover here in Wellesley's own defensive end, Billy Tinney buries it for a Natick 3-1 edge and a timeout. But Wellesley responds thanks to Grant Kasikas, and on back-to-back scores, this one tied at 3-3 is clutch, with only 1.5 seconds left remaining to the opening quarter. This second would be key for Wellesley in what has so far been a tight battle, and isn't looking like it's changing anytime soon. So with each goal more important than the last, Nick Marvin sparks the offense right here. Grant Kasikas buries a hat trick here with authority as no one is stopping this laser, and Wellesley's advantage is 5-3. But after Redhawks tied up at 5-5, Raiders flip the switch and go to attack mode as Liam Cranley gets his stick deflected on the windup, yet still nets it for the go-ahead score. And then Hugh Callahan with the fake takes care of it himself, giving Wellesley a 7-5 lead still here in the second. With Wellesley outscoring Natick 5-3 in this quarter, that would be key in a game where neither side can pull away with a commanding edge. Not to be pushed aside, but in lacrosse, 3 goals can quickly be erased. So Natick narrows that deficit here on this bang-bang play by captain Billy Tinney, still with plenty of time left on the game clock in this crucial final frame. And as this rocket shot launched by Josh Atwood finds all net here, suddenly only 1 goal separates these two sides. Raiders need to grab that scoring edge right back though, and do it fast. Brendan Conroy finds Hugh Callahan for the clutch score and makes it 13-11 Wellesley, just around the midway point. Goalie Teddy Darcy makes this clutch save here to preserve his 2-goal edge. Raiders now hold. And then back on their own attacking zone, Hugh Callahan buries his own Hattie at the perfect time. That is the dagger right there. This will be a back-and-forth match here, but between these two neighboring rivals, would you expect anything less? So Wellesley, through the intense heat, prevail in this one behind 5 Greg Casikis' goals and a Hugh Callahan hat-trick outlast the Redhawks 15-12. But Raiders baseball would only have a few games remaining to their season, and despite a tough challenge ahead here on Saturday against the Hawks at Xaverian, a tourney spot, one they have earned every year since 2007, would still be within their reach. Well, as we head to the action here, top first, Xaverian would immediately give pitcher Teddy Goss trouble, quickly loading up the bases. Senior A.J. Ryan comes up to the plate, ready to do damage. Ryan rips the first pitch he sees and sends it deep to left. Jason Mayona chases but runs out of real estate here, and A.J. Ryan clears the bases with one swing of the bat on this clutch grand slam. And that's a tough pill to swallow here for the Raiders as they find themselves down by 4 before even getting to bat. The very next inning, Xaverian adds to their advantage. Ethan Root on third, but not for long, as Jake Cassidy drives him home with this RBI single. It's 5-0 Hawks. Both runners on the corners, Holt Fletcher catches Vicente Mendoza stealing second. Throws on the money, tag is there, and Mendoza is out. Raiders needed that one to end the inning as the deficit is held to 5 runs. With Hawks striking big in both the 3rd and 6th innings here, Raiders bat the bottom of the 6th, down big 11-0. But facing Sean Birch in relief here, Wellesley will not go down quietly. Henry Weicker blows them up with the base on balls. And a much-needed rally looks to start up right here. Max Guifre beats out the double play here, and that allows a run to cross home plate as well. So on that force-out, Raiders still get on the board with their first run of the game. Ryan Carroll next at-bat hits a grounder to second. Ethan Kelly can't glove it, and Ryan Carroll beats out the throw. Everyone is safe, and Raiders doing the little things here and find another way to score and make it 11-2. Colin Blasco, just being clutch right here, tries to right for the double, pushing 2 more across. Cutoff throw sails high and past Ricky Keller. Wellesley tries to squeeze in a 3rd run, but Sean Birch lays down the tag. Max Zajac is out at the plate. Raiders break the shutout though in this bottom 6th and cut into that big deficit a little bit, now down 11-4. Well, if the Raiders are going to lose this one, they still are not going down quietly. John Warnell leads off this bottom 7th with a solid single right back up the middle. Hawks bring on John Levanchi in relief, and Will Horbutt lost it perfectly in between Jake Cassidy and Sean Birch. 2 on, nobody out. After Xaverian catches John Warnell in this rundown, they try to end the game on this double play. But Owen Langen's throw hits Horbutt instead, and everyone is safe. Driving the Hawks coach absolutely crazy. Brennan Dolan earns the walk to load them up, and Henry Weicker gets the painful RBI by way of, well, getting hit by the pitch. 12-5 Xaverian, still 1 out, and still a bases juiced. Max Guifre up to bat again, makes it count, and gets this fly ball into the outfield, just out of Paul Manning's reach. The RBI goes to Guifre, and it's 12-6 Hawks. Unfortunately, that Hawks lead could not be broke. Wish I could say the same for the camera, as that did break, as I can't bring any more action to you on that game because, well, you can't see it. 12-6 would be the final here, as Xaverian just never gave up their lead despite the effort by the Raiders. So let's head over to boys lacrosse, as they would have 2 more games remaining to their season. And facing Bridgewater Raynham, a team who has played Wellesley tough in seasons past, but gone out of the days of Gavin Perry and Travis Reed. And so Trojans' offensive void from those graduating top athletes would show up here early on, as Wellesley immediately takes advantage right from the opening faceoff. Grant Casikis, owning the draw battle here, gets the feed right back from Hugh Callahan. And as the opening seconds to this first half barely ticked away, Casikis has already fought through the defense and buried the score. Brian Conroy then finds separation past defenseman Ryan Thurber. then dekes out Donovan McCormick and launches one past the goalie. It's a 3-1 edge. Michael Bones helps keep this Raiders offensive charge going, though, quickly dishing it ahead to Nick Marvin. Marvin brings home the finish, and it's a 4-1 lead now. Bridgewater Raynham gets a man-up advantage, though, and James Hannafin makes sure the Trojans capitalize on it. Hannafin waits to make his move, does, and nets it past Teddy Darcy, and Trojans are now down only 4-2. But if Trojans thought this would stay a close match here, well, talk about the quickest answer by Wellesley to prove just how wrong they'd be. Face-off win again for Wellesley. This time, Jack Hughes scoops out the ground ball, determined to score. Hughes whips it high-low and grounds it into the cage. Brent Conroy then goes top shelf with McCormick just getting challenged again and again. They just cannot contain this Raiders attack. Bridgewater Raynham timeout, 6-2, Wellesley. Coming out of that break, Donovan McCormick is able to deny this shot on goal. McCormick can now control the clear-out, and so running upfield, lofts it ahead to Wilson Smith. Smith and McCormick are both around the 40-yard line, and Smith's pass gets deflected by Michael Bones. Bones spins around and, putting all his weight on his right foot, lost the ball towards an empty net. It goes in. What a fantastic effort and finish there by Michael Bones, as I don't think you can top that unassisted score at the midline for a long time. The scores keep coming as this Raiders 7-2 advantage becomes a 9-2 lead in just the first 12 minutes played here. So the second opens up with the action on the turf continuing to feature the dominance Captain Grant Kasikas holds on nearly every draw. And how well Kasikas perfects the finish, even better, keeping possession from the 50 despite the consistent defensive stick hits coming his way. And again, buries it past McCormick. So now down by 8, Bridgewater Raynham looks for any kind of spark here in this second quarter. And Shane Fries delivers, grabbing this Jason Vickery pass and snipes it into the cage. Trojans look for a much-needed offensive rhythm to hold on to. And quick passing on this play helps as Ben Thorne passes up his cozy spot near the crease and dishes it to Cooper Daniels. Daniels slings it top shelf, down 11-4. Second later, continuation play, Trojans' Bryce Shaw waits for the officials' wind-up and whistle. Shaw sees Raiders aren't in position and finds Cooper Daniels open for the score. Trojans are pumped, Raiders are not, arguing the restart whistle was never clearly blown, nor was the play continued from the right position. Well, goal stays though, and Raiders still hold the 11-5 edge, but don't want any extra momentum just being handed to their opponents. Though facing a pretty clear uphill battle with only 12 minutes remaining in regulation, Trojans aren't throwing in the towel just yet, as Ben Thorne opens up the final frame with this sidearm score. Quick and concise passing by Jason Vickery here to Ben Thorne is key, as Cooper Daniels easily buries another one. Bridgewater Raynham is trying to cut away the deficit here, down 13-8. So that now forces a Wellesley timeout with just under 10 to go. So what do you draw up to counter these back-to-back Trojan scores? Well, if you're Grant Kasikas, you win the face-off, you fight off more stick hits, and you drive it deep into the cage. And that's exactly what's done, as that goal right here is exactly what Wellesley needed here. Momentum is back with the Raiders, and it's staying here for good. As Brian Conroy cranks it and finds all net, 15-8 Wellesley, and there will be no comeback here for Bridgewater Raynham today. Hugh Callahan officially ices the win here, as Raiders offense lit up from the opening seconds to this game. The Trojans, after tying it briefly 1-1, never led in this one, and Wellesley dominates their opponent, commanding an 18-9 victory. Raiders would then easily take care of Lexington 2 days later to officially close out this outstanding regular season at 13-5, leaving this team ready to go for tourney. Well, despite missing out on tournament seedings again this year, softball would look to end their season on a high note, with their last 2 remaining games here at home with divisional matches against Natick and Weymouth. And this team would look to walk away earning 2 more victories. So Natick would be up first here at Lee Field on Wednesday. Redhawks strike first on this top first. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Jordan Gridmatheny grounds out to third, but Julia Adelman sneaks in on the delay, crossing home plate and scores on the force out. Natick pulls a 1-0 edge. Bottom first, Raiders ground into 2 quick outs. But on this third grounder, Allison Goringer hustles down the baseline and is safe. No 1-2-3 inning for Natick, as Goringer's speed keeps the inning alive. Future Sarah Farnsworth lines it up the middle, making solid contact, and suddenly, Wellesley has a 2-out rally going on here. Emma Goldenthal will be the next batter up, and with the runners off on contact, Goldenthal's fly ball drops in just out of Shayla DeGeorge's reach. Goveringer comes around to score, and Raiders' clutch hitting with 2 gone is key, ties it up here at 1-1. The top third, Natick retakes the lead back again with another run coming across on a ground-out force-out, and this time by Carly Erickson. And a solid delayed running on the base paths here by Shayla DeGeorge gets her a spot on third base on that play as well. So, the defense is clutch as Jordan Grignafini pops up in foul territory, and Taylor McLennan, the defense just inches from her, still makes a clutch grab. And that catch ends the Natick threat, as Redhawks only come away with 1 here, leading 2-1. And that defensive play by McLennan helped spark the offense as well, as we head to the bottom of that third. Allison Goinger leading off, rips the first pitch from Lizzie Hopkins and earns a stand-up double, and just like that, the tying run is on second. Swinging on the first pitch works yet again as Sarah Farnsworth crushes it deep to left. Switching places with Goinger and earns the RBI double, ties it right back up, 2-2. 1 out, runner on. Taylor McLennan drives it to right. The ball gets past Sophie Brandt, and as McLennan hustles, speeding around the bases, well, the Redhawks outfield does not. McLennan earns an RBI triple on that one, and Raiders lead for the first time here, 3-2. Mackenzie O'Neill looks to keep this rally going, and being patient at the plate, lays off this Lizzie Hopkins wild pitch. McLennan comes home. 4-2 Raiders in this clutch bottom third. That 4th run of the game here by Wellesley would be huge. As we head to the top 5th, with a Red Hawk on third and Jordan Grignafini already with 2 ribbies on the day, brings results once again for Natick. As Grignafini is safe on the grounder, and Julia Adelman crosses the plate, cutting the deficit to only 1, now down 4-3. Both 2 out now and 2 on. Sarah Farnsworth gets pinch hitter Nicole Segale to fly out to right. Emma Goldenthal gets under it and makes the catch, getting the threat, and the Raiders get out of the jam, still holding a 4-3 edge. With 1 out here in this 6th, Redhawks again get the tying run in scoring position. But Sarah Farnsworth gets the nasty strikeout, and Julia Adelman grounds out to third. So to the final 7th we go. And Natick again strands the tying run in scoring position, as Raiders would not give up that 1-run advantage. So Wellesley holds on for a well-deserved close win here, as the defense played solid, and behind a Sarah Farnsworth complete game, beat their rivals here by the final 4-3. Well, that's it for this double episode, but that means next week it's all about the MIAA playoffs. So in the meantime, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, and of course, right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39. As always, thank you for watching Black Red Blitz, and go Raiders!
He's got some room to run. Pitch in for a touchdown!